Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of British numismatics. In this video, we'll be exploring the top 5 most valuable 2 shilling coins issued in the United Kingdom. These coins, sometimes known as florins, hold an incredible place in history. Over the years, changes in monarchs, mint marks, and even the metal content have made certain years far more sought after than others. Whether you're a collector, an investor, or simply curious about the treasures hiding in your coin jar, this list will show you which 2 shilling coins could be worth far more than face value, even hundreds of dollars in the right condition. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1949, examined in fine condition. While it may seem like just another mid-20th century coin at first glance, this particular issue has an intriguing background, unique design features, and a place in the hearts of collectors. We'll explore its history, details, collector demand, and auction market value in US dollars, as well as some essential tips for anyone looking to add one of these to their collection. The 1949 2 shilling coin belongs to the reign of King George VI, who ruled from 1936 until 1952. Known as a florin in older terms, the 2 shilling piece had been part of British coinage since the 19th century. The 1949 issue came during a time of significant change in Britain, just after World War II. The nation was rebuilding, rationing was still in place, and economic challenges shaped everyday life. Coinage during this period carried a strong sense of national identity and stability, serving not just as money, but also as a symbol of resilience. By 1947, the United Kingdom had fully transitioned from silver coinage to cupronickel, and the 1949 2 shilling reflects this shift. Although it lacks the precious metal content of earlier issues, it remains historically important as a product of post-war Britain. The 1949 2 shilling coin was struck in cupronickel, measuring 28.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing approximately 11.3 grams. On the obverse, we find the left-facing portrait of King George VI, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget, accompanied by the Latin inscription Georgiv 6 DG Brother OMN. Rex. This translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons. The reverse design is particularly striking, created by George Kruger Gray. It features the crown Tudor rose at the center, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek, representing England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. The outer legend reads FID Def 2 Shillings 1949, an abbreviation of Fide Defensor, or Defender of the Faith. The detailed artistry and symbolism give this coin a distinctive charm that resonates with collectors even today. Unlike some other dates, the 1949 2 shilling was not minted in especially low numbers, making it relatively common compared to rare error coins or limited issue proofs. However, as with many mid-20th century coins, the level of preservation greatly impacts value. In fine condition, the coin shows moderate wear but retains its essential design details. This makes it attractive for beginner collectors who want affordable yet historically meaningful coins. Interestingly, even damaged or heavily circulated examples can draw collector interest. Many people enjoy acquiring them as part of a complete set of George VI coins, or to represent Britain's post-war coinage era. The nostalgia factor and historical importance ensure that, even if not rare in the strictest sense, the 1949 2 shilling continues to enjoy consistent demand. When it comes to auction and market value, condition is everything. A 1949 2 shilling in heavily worn circulation condition might sell for as little as $431,000. In fine condition, which shows clearer details and more appealing surfaces, the coin's value generally ranges from about $321,000 in today's US market. Higher grades, such as very fine or extremely fine examples, can fetch between $114,000. Coins in uncirculated or near-mint state, particularly if certified by grading services, may achieve prices upwards of $40 or more. While it is not among the most expensive British coins, its steady demand ensures a healthy market, especially in online auctions and numismatic fairs where collectors seek complete sets of King George VI denominations. For those looking to collect the 1949 2 shilling, the key is condition and eye appeal. Always examine the portrait of King George VI and the Tudor rose design on the reverse. Sharp detail and minimal wear increase value. Look for coins with clean edges, even toning, and no major scratches or damage. While fine condition offers an affordable entry point, higher grades can be worthwhile long-term investments. Collectors should also pay attention to provenance coins with interesting histories, or those from reputable collections can sometimes fetch a premium. For beginners, building a complete set of 2 shillings from the George VI era is a rewarding way to gain appreciation for mid-20th century British coinage. The 1949 United Kingdom 2 shilling may not be the rarest coin in circulation, but it carries immense historical weight and continues to hold a valued place in numismatics. From its post-war context and symbolic design to its steady market demand, this coin represents an accessible yet meaningful piece of British history. In fine condition, it strikes a balance between affordability and collectability, making it an excellent choice for both new and seasoned collectors. Whether you're building a comprehensive collection or simply appreciating the artistry of mid-century coinage, the 1949 2 shilling is a timeless reminder of Britain's resilience and heritage. Next up, the United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1950, especially when found in excellent condition. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another mid-20th century piece of currency, but when we look closer, its historical context, design details, rarity, and auction value tell a much deeper story. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into coin collecting, this video will give you everything you need to know about this beautiful coin. To fully understand the 1952 shilling coin, we need to look at its background. The 2 shilling coin, also known as the florin, was introduced in 1849 as part of Britain's slow move toward decimalisation. By the mid-20th century, these coins were a common sight in pockets and tills across the country. The 1950 issue carries the portrait of King George VI, who was king from 1936 until his death in 1952. This was a significant period in British history. Post-war Britain was rebuilding, rationing was still ongoing, and the economy was shifting rapidly. Coins minted during this time reflect not only the monarchy but also the resilience of the nation. The 2 shilling coin remained in circulation until decimalisation in 1971, at which point it was revalued as 10 new pence. This connection to Britain's transition from old currency to the modern decimal system gives the 1950 coin historical weight, making it more than just a monetary token point. One of the most striking aspects of the 1952 shilling coin is its design. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of King George VI, facing left. His dignified profile was crafted by the sculptor Thomas Humphrey Paget, whose initials HP can often be spotted below the king's neck. The inscription reads, George Iv 6 Dei Gra Brit Omn Rex, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons. On the reverse, the design is rich with symbolism. It features a crowned Tudor rose at the centre, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek representing England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales respectively. Around the edge is the inscription FID Def 2 Shillings 1950. The level of detail and national symbolism in this design makes the coin both historically and artistically significant. Measuring 28.5 mm in diameter and struck in cupronickel, the coin was part of the post-silver era of British coinage, as silver had been removed from circulation in 1947. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1952 shilling coin is not the rarest in the series, but condition plays a huge role in its desirability. Millions were minted for circulation, so in worn or heavily damaged condition, they are relatively common and often worth little more than face value to collectors. Many examples in poor condition can still be found in old collections, flea markets, or inherited jars of coins. However, here's where the key difference lies. In excellent condition or what collectors call uncirculated or mint state, the 1952 shilling becomes far more appealing. High-grade examples are much harder to come by because most were used in everyday transactions for decades. In contrast, a coin that has remained untarnished, with its details sharp and surfaces lustrous, is scarce and commands much greater respect in the auction market. Even coins in moderately damaged condition still have some collector demand because they complete sets, but the real attention always goes to pristine examples. So, what is this coin actually worth today? Values fluctuate based on condition, rarity, and collector demand, but we can outline some typical figures. A heavily circulated or damaged 1952 shilling might sell for around $531,000, mostly as a curiosity or set filler. Coins in fine to very fine condition generally range between $314,000, appealing to collectors who want a presentable piece without paying a premium. But the real jump comes with coins in excellent, uncirculated condition. These can achieve anywhere from $221,000, depending on the strike quality and preservation. Exceptional examples with strong eye appeal, sharp details, and brilliant surfaces have been known to sell at auction for even more, sometimes reaching $75 or higher when demand is strong. While not in the same category as rare pattern coins or early silver issues, the 1952 shilling in top condition definitely holds its place as a desirable mid-century collectible. If you're considering adding a 1952 shilling to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always pay attention to condition. Grading makes a huge difference in value. Look for coins with minimal wear, clear details in the floral emblems, and a clean portrait of King George VI. Second, consider storage carefully. Cupronickel coins are prone to tarnish, so keeping them in acid-free holders or protective capsules will help preserve their condition. Third, always buy from reputable dealers or trusted auction houses to ensure authenticity. Lastly, think about building a set of florins spanning from the reign of George VI or even earlier. This not only makes for a visually impressive collection but also gives context to the 1950 coin within Britain's broader monetary history. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 2 shilling coin of 1950 is a fascinating blend of history, artistry, and collectability. While millions were minted, the true value lies in condition. Coins that have survived in excellent shape are far rarer and command significantly higher prices in today's auction market. For collectors, this coin represents not just a piece of currency, but a snapshot of Britain in the post-war years, carrying both symbolic and financial worth. Whether you're starting your collection or adding to an established one, the 1952 shilling is a coin that deserves a place in any serious collection. Next up, the United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1947. This coin, even in circulated condition, holds a unique place in the numismatic market due to its transitionary role in British currency history. In this video, we'll explore the background of the coin, its unique design features, its rarity, how collectors value even damaged examples, and of course, its current auction market value in US dollars. If you've ever wondered whether this coin in your collection or pocket is worth keeping, this is the video for you. The year 1947 marked an important shift in British coinage. After World War II, Britain was facing serious economic challenges, including massive debts. To cut costs, the Royal Mint made a major change. Silver was officially removed from circulating coins. Before 1947, coins like the 2 shillings contained 50% silver. Starting that year, however, the composition switched to cupronickel, which is an alloy of copper and nickel. This change meant that the 1947 2 shilling coin was the very first of its kind struck without any silver content. While not precious in terms of metal value, it became historically significant because it represents the post-war adjustment period and the modernization of British coinage. The 1947 2 shilling coin features a striking design by engraver George Kruger Gray. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of King George VI, who reigned from 1936 to 1952. His profile faces left, a tradition that alternated directions between monarchs. Around the edge, the Latin inscription Georgiv 6 Deed G. Brother OMNREX translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons. On the reverse, the design is crowned by a Tudor rose in the centre, flanked by a thistle and a shamrock, representing England, Scotland, and Ireland respectively. Around the edge is the inscription FID Def INDMP 2 shillings 1947, declaring George VI as Defender of the Faith and Emperor of India, though India's independence was just around the corner in 1947. This coin, therefore, is not just currency, it's a snapshot of a changing empire. When it comes to rarity, the 1947 2 shilling coin is not considered especially rare compared to earlier silver issues. Millions were minted, and because they were intended for daily circulation, many examples survived. However, the demand comes not only from rarity but also from historical significance. Collectors often seek coins from 1947 specifically because it represents the first year of cupronickel coinage. Even in circulated or damaged condition, the coin has collector interest because it marks such a pivotal moment. Collectors often view worn coins as part of history itself, each scratch and dent telling a story of the post-war years when Britain was rebuilding its economy and society. This gives even damaged or heavily circulated examples value to entry-level collectors. historians, or anyone creating a year set of British coins. So, how much is the 1947 2-shilling coin worth today in circulated condition? Because these coins contain no silver, they do not hold intrinsic bullion value. Their worth is tied purely to historical and collector demand. On auction sites and collector markets, circulated 1947 2-shillings typically sell for around $534,000 in average circulated condition. If the coin is heavily worn or damaged, it may only fetch around $424,000. On the other hand, examples in higher grades with less wear and more visible details can bring in between $122,000. Exceptional uncirculated pieces, especially those with sharp detail and original luster, can fetch higher, sometimes around $216,000, depending on the auction and demand. Still, even in circulated condition, the coin has value because it holds a story that appeals to numismatists worldwide. If you're considering collecting or selling a 1947 2-shilling coin, here are some tips. First, always check the coin's condition. Even circulated coins vary. One with clear details and less wear is more valuable than one that is completely smoothed out. Second, look out for minting errors or variations, as these can increase value significantly. Third, if you're collecting for historical value, try to obtain a full set of 2 shillings from the 1940s, as this helps contextualize the transition from silver to cupronickel. Finally, when selling, don't limit yourself to local buyers. Online auction platforms like eBay often bring in higher prices because they attract international collectors who specifically want UK pre-decimal coins. The United Kingdom 2-shilling coin of 1947 may not be the rarest or most expensive coin out there, but its historical importance cannot be overstated. It represents a turning point in British currency, the shift away from silver, and the post-war rebuilding of Britain's economy. While circulated examples may only bring in a modest value of a few dollars, the coin's place in history makes it a worthy addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your numismatic journey, the 1947 2-shilling coin offers a tangible link to Britain's past, making it much more than just small change. Next up, the United Kingdom 2-shilling coin from 1951 in very fine condition. This coin may not immediately seem like a high-value rarity, but its historical context, design, and collector interest make it worthy of attention. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just beginning your coin collecting journey, the 1951 2-shilling coin offers a lot to appreciate. In this video, we'll explore its history, design, rarity, auction value in dollars, and provide some practical tips for collectors. The 2-shilling coin, often referred to as a florin, was first introduced in 1849 under Queen Victoria as an experiment toward decimalisation of British currency. By the time we reach 1951, the coin was part of the regular circulation under the reign of King George VI. This was a transitional period for British currency. The economy was still recovering from World War II, and coinage was adjusting to the post-war era. Unlike earlier shillings made of silver, the 1951 issue was struck in cupronickel, a copper-nickel alloy, reflecting the government's need for cost-effective metals. The 1951 florin was minted at the Royal Mint and forms part of the George VI series that collectors seek today. The obverse of the 1951 2-shilling coin features the left-facing portrait of King George VI, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget. Around the portrait, you'll find the inscription Georgiev's 6DG Brother OMN, Rex Fide Def, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith. The reverse design is equally striking, showcasing the crown Tudor rose at the centre, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek, the floral symbols of England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. Encircling this national emblem is the inscription FID Def 2 Shillings 1951. This coin was not produced in silver but in cupronickel, giving it a silver-like shine while being far more durable. Its detailed floral arrangement and balanced design remain a favourite among collectors of mid-20th century British coins. While the 1951 2-shilling coin is not extremely rare compared to earlier Victorian or Edwardian issues, its age and historical placement make it appealing to collectors. In very fine condition, the coin retains most of its details, though some high points may show wear. Damaged or heavily circulated examples are far more common and often hold little premium above face value. However, even in lower conditions, Collectors who aim to build complete date sets of King George VI coinage may seek these coins to fill gaps. Since the coin was struck in cupronickel, it does not suffer from the tarnishing and corrosion issues seen in silver coins, though scratches, dents, and discoloration do impact value. Truly pristine or uncirculated examples are scarcer and command stronger prices at auction, but even coins in very fine condition still attract interest due to their historical context. When it comes to market value, the 1951 2 shilling coin in very fine condition is moderately affordable, making it accessible to beginner collectors. On the auction market, prices generally range between $426,000 for coins in average circulated condition. However, very fine condition examples, with sharper details and less wear, tend to fetch closer to $324,000, depending on demand and the visibility of the inscriptions and motifs. If you're lucky enough to find one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, values can rise significantly higher, often reaching $221,000 at reputable auctions or specialized coin dealers. It's important to note that market values fluctuate based on collector demand, the presence of original luster, and the reputation of the auction house. If you're considering adding the 1951 2 shilling coin to your collection, here are some helpful tips. First, always look for coins with the least amount of wear possible. Pay close attention to King George VI's portrait. The finer the hairlines and facial features remain, the higher the value. On the reverse, check the sharpness of the Tudor rose and surrounding floral emblems, as these are often the first areas to show wear. Secondly, store your coins properly. Although cupronickel is resistant to tarnish, scratches, and surface damage can still diminish collector value. Use acid-free coin holders or capsules to preserve their condition. Thirdly, consider acquiring a full set of George VI 2 shillings from the late 1930s to 1952, as complete sets often carry greater appeal and resale value. Lastly, keep an eye on numismatic auctions, as occasionally, high-grade examples surface and can be purchased at reasonable prices before increasing in demand. The United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1951 may not be the rarest coin in British numismatics, but it is certainly a fascinating piece of history. With its striking design, representation of national identity, and connection to the reign of King George VI, it remains a popular coin among collectors. In very fine condition, it holds a modest but respectable market value, making it an excellent entry point for new collectors and a worthwhile addition to any serious collection. Whether you're collecting for passion, history, or investment, the 1951 florin proves that every coin has a story, and this one tells a tale of post-war Britain, tradition, and timeless design. Next up, the United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1948 in circulated condition. Although it may seem like a small, everyday coin, its historical context, design features, and current market demand make it a subject worth exploring. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a beginner in coin collecting, understanding the significance of this coin can help you appreciate its place in British monetary history and determine its value in today's auction markets. The 1948 2 shilling coin, also known as a florin, emerged during a pivotal period of British history. After World War II, Britain faced economic hardship and began transitioning its coinage from silver to cupronickel alloys due to rising costs. Before 1947, 2 shilling coins were minted with 50% silver content, but beginning in 1947, silver was completely removed. By 1948, the 2 shilling coin was entirely composed of cupronickel, reflecting Britain's shift to more affordable metals. This change marked the end of an era for silver coinage and makes the post-war florins like the 1948 edition a unique bridge between older silver-rich coins and modern base metal currency. The 1948 2 shilling coin carries a design steeped in British heraldry and tradition. The obverse features the effigy of King George VI, who ruled from 1936 to 1952. His portrait is encircled by the Latin inscription Georgiv 6DGBROMN Rex F laughing smiley INDIMP, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This was one of the last times Emperor of India appeared on British coinage, making it historically notable. On the reverse, the coin showcases a crowned Tudor rose at the centre, flanked by a thistle, shamrock, and leek symbols representing England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales respectively. This unified design emphasized the identity of the United Kingdom as one realm. The words FID Def, Defender of the Faith, and the denomination 2 shillings surround the edge, along with the date 1948. With a diameter of 28.5 millimeters and a weight of 11.3 grams, this coin's dimensions and alloy composition reflect the post-war economic climate. While the 1948 2 shilling coin is not as rare as pre-1947 silver florins, its historical context still gives it appeal. Millions were minted for circulation, but over time many have been lost, damaged, or melted down, especially as cupronickel coins tarnish and corrode easily. This means that finding coins from this year in high grades, particularly uncirculated or near uncirculated, is becoming increasingly challenging. Interestingly, even damaged or heavily circulated examples hold some collector interest. New collectors, or those looking for historically significant yet affordable pieces, often start with coins like the 1948 florin. For thematic collectors, such as those focusing on post-war Britain or King George VI coinage, this coin represents an essential piece of the puzzle. However, the value in damaged condition is generally modest, reflecting its relatively large mintage and base metal composition of today's market. The 1948 2 shilling coin in circulated condition typically sells for between $426,000, depending on the degree of wear, eye appeal, and any unique characteristics such as minting errors. Coins in fine to very fine condition can sometimes reach $114,000 at auctions or online marketplaces due to increased interest from beginner collectors. However, examples in extremely fine or uncirculated condition can command higher prices, sometimes in the $124,000 range, especially if offered through reputable coin auctions. Error coins such as misstrikes or double-die examples can sell for significantly more, but these are rare and must be authenticated. If you're looking to add the 1948 2 shilling coin to your collection, keep a few tips in mind. First, always check the condition. Coins with clear details on King George VI's portrait and the Tudor rose tend to be more desirable. Second, store the coin properly to prevent further tarnishing or damage. Using acid-free coin holders or capsules is ideal for preservation. Third, consider purchasing from reputable dealers or auction houses to avoid counterfeits or misrepresented grades. Finally, if you're building a set of George VI florins, try to collect multiple years to compare the subtle differences in design and wear patterns. This will give you a broader perspective on the coinage of that era. The United Kingdom 2 shilling coin from 1948 may not be a rare silver treasure, but it holds its own unique charm as a post-war piece of British monetary history. With its iconic design, historical inscriptions, and connection to a changing economic landscape, it's a coin that offers both education and enjoyment to collectors. While its market value remains modest in circulated condition, it's an accessible and meaningful entry point for anyone interested in British coins or 20th century numismatics. By understanding its background, recognizing its features, and following smart collecting practices, you can appreciate the 1948 florin for more than just its face value. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more episodes on rare coins.